Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Disney Villainous playthrough only on Tabletop Simulator. And if you're new to the Miss Sensational Gaming channel, then welcome. In today's video, I am going to play as Dr. Faciler from The Princess and the Frog. This is technically one of the last 2D animated movies right before they went back or just got started of getting the hang of making 3D movies. And I'm talking about Disney, of course. But I still enjoy it, no matter what. No matter if it's 2D or 3D, I still enjoy certain movies, like Toy Story and even The Little Mermaid and so forth. But I'm going off track here. So, right now, his objective is to control the talisman and successfully rule New Orleans. So, I'm going to draw 4 cards. And also, just a reminder, there are cards that forces you or technically allows you to put things in the fortune pile, which I will definitely show you once we get to that situation. But right now, let's reveal 4 cards I have in 3, 2, 1. No. So what we have is Desperation, which is a condition card. If another player discards 2 or more cards, you may play Desperation. Choose a card from the fortune pile and put it into your hand. Then we have the Shadow Man, which is an ally. Has a strength of 4. Before Dr. Faciler moves, if Shadow Man is at his location, you may move Shadow Man with Dr. Faciler. And here's what it says if this card gets into the fortune pile. Play Shadow Man to the Voodoo Imperium. Then we have Terra, which is another condition card. This is during another player's turn. But since I'm playing this on solo, I can play this as a free-to-play card or something along these lines. But according to this, if another player gains 3 or more power, you may play Terra. Choose an ally or an effect card from the discard pile and put it into your hand, which I probably do not need right now. But who knows? I'm probably going to keep Desperation just in case. Last but not least, we have Friends on the other side. So this is where you gain 2 power and put Friends on the other side into the fortune pile instead of the discard pile. However, whenever it's landed on, if it's put on the fortune pile, you have to do what it says, and that is to gain 2 power, then discard Friends on the other side, which means I believe it will be put in the discard pile. So, now that you know, we only have 20 rounds or 20 turns to complete this objective, and we're going to start off by heading to the bayou. Because I'm going to gain 3 power. Then I'm going to play Friends on the other side to gain another additional power. Then put it on the fortune pile. This is where it gets a little confusing because I don't know if that's how this works. Since I put in the fortune pile, I get to gain 2 power. There is no action symbol that says something about fortune. So I have to do it like automatically, which I'm assuming that's what it means. So since I get another additional power, because I put it in the fortune pile, I get to discard it. So there you go. And I would play something else, but I don't want to play Shadow Man. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice. Since I'm playing this solo, I have to roll the dice to determine my fate. If I roll a lower number that's either 1 or 4, then I get fated. However, since I roll an 8, which is higher than these 2 lower numbers, I don't get fated. So, I get to continue by drawing 1 card to reveal Lawrence. And that's it for this round. So, Lawrence is one of these, allies that I'm totally confused about because he's with Prince Naveen in the movie. But something that's going on in his mind that he really wants his future, according to the cards that that Dr. Faciler shows, he wants, Lawrence wants that to happen so that he won't be feeling miserable and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lesson to be learned about certain Disney movies. Never trust a villain, especially if they have their own intentions. But regardless, according to this card, each time a hero is played to your realm, you may move Lawrence to that hero's location. And that's technically it. So next up, I am going to head to the parade to gain 2 power. But I'm going to spin the power that I just gained. I'm spinning it over Lawrence and put him into the Voodoo Imperium, where he determines his future by Dr. Faciler. And also I get to discard cards. So I gain power, I spend it over 1 card, and now all that's left is to discard it. So I'm going to discard 2 cards, because what I need is 2 cards to win the game. The Talisman and Rule New Orleans. There's also other cards that prevents you of winning, which I forgot to mention. But we'll get to that once we get these cards. Or probably not. Either way, let's roll the dice. And I get an 8 again. That's amazing. So I have Friends on the other side. I have Illusion Powder, which I'm going to keep. And I have Terra again. Alright. So that's it for this round. Next up, I'm going to go back to the Bayou to gain 3 power. Then I'm going to play this card that has 0 power to gain another power. Put it in the fortune pile, which is like this. I forgot to mention. Then I gain another additional power, and then discard it. It's very confusing. But you know what I mean. Okay, so I don't remember what I'm supposed to do next. Well, I play a card. I gain some power. Oh yeah, I was also trying to spin... I was also trying to play another card, because I landed on a symbol that you allowed to play cards twice and stuff. I'm going to play this one. And by the way, this card I definitely need, because each time you defeat a hero at this location, you may choose up to 2 cards from the fortune pile and put them into your discard pile. So yeah, that's the thing about this card that I definitely need. So now, let's go ahead and roll the fate dice. And it's a 7. It almost landed on a 3, but now it's a 7. So that means I don't get fated. Draw 2 cards. Let's see what we get. Oh, we got some allies. But this is also an item too. So what we have is the voodoo dolls. When voodoo dolls are moved, you may move a hero the same distance and direction. And then we have masked spirits, which when you put it on the fortune pile, only masked spirits can be resolved during this action. Return an unresolved cards to the fortune pile, then discard all masked spirits that were revealed. And that's one of the cards that I dislike the most, because even though they're allies, they could also prevent you of winning the game. So that is it for this round. So next thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the parade to gain 2 power. Then I'm going to discard 2 cards. I'm going to discard 2 cards. Then I don't want to play them yet. But I think I'm going to go ahead, let's see. I'm trying to think here. I don't have a lot of options. I want to play this card, but I don't want to. So I'm just going to keep it and just roll the dice. Ah, this keeps happening every time. There we go. I roll a 6, which means I don't get faded. Alright, so that's it for this round. So what we have here, we have Sleight of Hand. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Put 1 into your hand, and then discard the rest. Then we have Frog Form, which I want to keep. So technically when Frog Form is played, attach it to a hero, that hero gets -2 strength. I definitely need that. So I think the next thing that I'm going to do here is I am going to go over here to gain 1 power. Then I'm going to have to automatically fate myself because I landed on a location that has the fate action symbol. But you can only use this action if you're playing against another player. But because I'm playing this on solo, I'm going to make things difficult for me. So what we have here is Lewis. If Dr. Facilier moves to Lewis' location, Dr. Facilier must reveal his hand to an opponent of his choice. That opponent choose a card to put into the fortune pile. And he has the strength of 5. So I am going to choose Big Daddy LaBouffe. When Big Daddy LaBouffe is played, you may choose a card from the fortune pile and return it to the top turn it to the top of Dr. Facilier's discard pile. Unfortunately, I do not have anything on the fortune pile, at least not yet anyways. So I might have to draw on 1 more card to see if I can do something. And yes, unfortunately I could. And this one is an effect fate card, which is Evening Star. Choose an ally, which the only one is Lawrence, and I have to put Lawrence into the fortune pile, which is like that. But right now the item itself is still there. It didn't say to put the item, it didn't say to discard an item or something along these lines. This is kind of confusing. And that is it for this round. Next up, I need to get things going. So I'm going to go ahead and head to the Bayou once again to gain 3 power. Then I'm going to spin 1 over this. I must draw the top 3 cards, then put 1 into my hand, and for the rest needs to be discarded. So let's see what we get. I have the cards will tell, which is if Dr. Facilier is at the Voodoo Imperium, shuffle the fortune pile, reveal 3 random cards from it, and resolve their fortune abilities in any order. But this card cannot be put in the fortune pile. So I am going to choose this one. Then I'm going to discard these 2. I'm going to discard that as well because I used it. Then I'm going to spend 1 power to place Voodoo Dolls in the Voodoo Imperium. And that's about it. So now it's time to roll the dice. I end up rolling a 7. And I got friends on the other side. And that's it for this round. Alright. So, the thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go right here. I'm going to play friends on the other side once again. Also, I gained 2 power because I landed on this parade. Then I gain another power because of this card. Then I put it here on the fortune pile. And then I gain another additional power. And then discard this card. I know it's too much, isn't it? Then I'm going to discard this card right here to make some room. And that's it. So now, roll the fate dice. That's not a good roll because it's not much of a roll. But I'll take a 5 because I don't get fated. So I'll draw 2 cards to reveal another Shadow of Spirits and sleight hand and stuff. Okay, it says if it's in the fortune pile, I'll lose 2 power, then discard the Shadow Spirits. And sleight hand is where you have to look at the top 3 cards, which I would play. But that's it for this. Let's move on to here, where I gain 3 power. And then spin 1 for this card again. Then I have to draw 3 cards and reveal them. Alright, let's see what we get. Voodoo dolls. The cards will tell. And the cards will tell. So far, neither of these have, neither of these had some, I don't know. Let's go with this. And we'll just do this. And then I'm going to go ahead and spin another 1 power to have another Voodoo Doll in the Voodoo Imperium. And by the way, both of these 2 cards have 2 strengths, so that's a total of 4. And we still have the Illusion Powder. Hopefully. I don't know, whenever you put an ally in the fortune pile or discard pile, you have to discard an item. It's kind of confusing. But I think it depends on whether this item should be attached. Which I'm assuming that could be the case. But right now, I think that is it. Let's roll the dice. And I roll a 3, so you know what that means. I get fated. We have Adora, and Juju. So for Adora, when Adora is defeated, choose an opponent. That opponent reveals and plays the top card of your fate deck. So instead, I'm going to go with Juju. When Juju is played, you may choose 1 item to his location and put it into the fortune pile, which is definitely not a good thing because I am going to put him in the Voodoo Imperium and put this in the fortune pile, which is very unfortunate because I need that to get rid of certain cards in the fortune pile. So, yeah, so far we have an enemy, which, by the way, he has 2 strength, but he made me discard, or not discard, but technically put this item that I need desperately into the fortune pile. But luckily I have the talisman, which I definitely need. And that's it for that round. Next up, I am going to go ahead. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and head to the Voodoo Imperium. Then I'm going to vanquish, Juju with one of my voodoo dolls. I choose this one. So he's discarded, and so is this because they're equal by 2. So that means both of them get destroyed. And so now I get to play a card. But first I gain 1 power because this has been revealed. I am going to spend 3 power. And I am going to put the talisman probably in the parade. Yeah, probably in the parade. So what it does is that each time a hero with a strength of 3 or less is played, to Dr. Facilier's realm, I have to attach it to that hero because they will gain the possession of the talisman so that I won't control New Orleans as Dr. Facilier. But when that hero is defeated, the talisman is returned to Dr. Facilier at the same location. So it depends on which location that hero is at. And so right now all that's left is to automatically fate myself. And let's see what I get. Ooh. So what I have here is another evening star, but I'm going to choose almost there, which I have to look at the top 3 cards from Dr. Facilier's deck, and I have to put one of them in the fortune pile and put the rest back in the deck in any order. So I'm going to play this effect card, and I'm going to reveal 3 of them. I'm going to reveal the top 3 cards. We have the Masked Spirits, we have Frog Form, and we have Shadow Spirits. I think I'm going to choose Shadow Spirits. And then I'm going to put the rest back. Just like that. And because I placed Shadow Spirits in the fortune pile, I have to lose 2 power and then discard them. I don't know if this is accurate, but I'm doing it anyways. Draw 1 card to end up getting Frog Form again, and that is it. Okay, so far we encountered 1 hero and defeated that hero, and I end up getting a talisman. The only thing that I need is to control, not control, but rule New Orleans, which is the card that I need. But the only problem is that I can't do it because there's certain things that's in my way. So the first thing that I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go here to gain 2 power that I lost. Then I am going to... Should I play Desperation? Yeah. Well, first things first though. I am going to discard 2 cards, which is Frog Form 1 and the Shadow Spirits. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to play Desperation. Since I discard 2 cards, I'm going to use this card so I can choose 1 card in the fortune pile and put it into my hand. And I'm choosing this one because I really, really needed it. And then I have the option to choose an ally, but I'm not going to do that. So let's go ahead and roll the fate dice. Oh, it almost landed on a 4, so it's an 8, so I don't get fated. So draw 2 cards to reveal Masked Spirits. Yep. And, ooh, we have Rule New Orleans. Yes, this is exactly what I need in order to win the game. And there you go. That is it for this round. So now all that's left. The only problem is right now is that the only thing that's going to prevent this from happening is if there's a hero that has a lower strength, which is either 3 or less than that. So right now I'm kind of a little bit nervous. So I'm going to go to the bayou to gain 3 power. Then I'm going to spend the 3 power that I gained and spend it over Rule New Orleans. And what it does is that you put it into the fortune pile, and if you control the talisman, which I still do, then I win the game. If not, if a hero has it, then I have to return New Orleans to the fortune pile. I think that's how you place it. This is an effect card that you use, and I place it in the fortune pile instead of the discard pile. And I think the next thing that I'm going to do is to spin 2 power. I'm going to spin 2 power. I'm not going to move any allies, so I think I win the game. So instead of me rolling the dice to determine my fate, which I could, but I'm going to see which are the 2 cards that will prevent me from winning. So we have Evening Star, which is to put an ally into the fortune pile. And we have Almost There, which is to look at the top 3 decks. If I would have choose Almost There, then I would have done this. Then Reveal It, which is the Voodoo Dolls, Sleight Hand, and Mass Spirits, which will definitely prevent me of winning the game. So instead of doing that, I decided, even though it will make things a little bit harder, I think I'm going to choose Evening Star, which is to discard an ally. Well, not discard it, but put it in the fortune pile, which is like right here. But the thing is right now, is that it doesn't say that I have to start my turn by having the talisman and successfully rule New Orleans. So even though this would be a disadvantage, I'm not very good at whether or not if this is accurate, because I am still a beginner at these kinds of games. But either way, if you pay attention closely to the information, you notice that it doesn't say start your turn by getting the talisman and successfully rule New Orleans. So if you pay attention to the rule book that involves Dr. Faciler, then, I only have 2 cards in the fortune pile, which is Lawrence and rule New Orleans. So either way, I think this may automatically win the game. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Dr. Faciler. It may not be accurate. I may have to try this again and learn it from it. I have to watch certain videos that I could try to understand on how this works and all. But overall, I got the talisman. No one has retrieved it. I rule New Orleans. I got it in my card. I still have it in the possession. So now, and I only have one card that is in the fortune pile, which is Lawrence. I don't think he does anything except being there. The only thing that will affect me of winning the game is the Mass Spirits, and also probably the Shadow Spirits as well. But regardless of that, that's the end of this playthrough. It may not be accurate, and it may not be easy. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the Miss Sensational's gaming channel. And I'll see you all in the next playthrough, where I'll be playing probably Ratican from the second expansion, which is Be Prepared, I think, that features Radigan, Yzma, and of course, Scar. I'm going to try to save I'm going to save Scar for last. So, until then, thanks for watching.